Today I'm going to talk to you about conditional statements. So far, our code has started at the beginning, at the top of the file, and executed each line as we walk through. Sometimes that code was storing additional code into a function that then we could repeat later, but we haven't had any path changes. We haven't been able to diverge in our path, to go in one direction if a condition is true, and another direction if the condition is false. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We are able to check conditions by using an if statement. If some condition is true, then we're going to execute the code inside the curly braces. So here are the curly braces. So everything that is inside the curly braces would be executed until we get to the close. The if is the keyword, so it's always going to start with if. And the condition has to be in parentheses here. And so this is going to be a Boolean expression, and all Boolean expressions evaluate to true or false. So if it evaluates to true, it will run this code. If it evaluates to false, then it's going to skip over from the first curly brace to the end curly brace, and then just continue on the code after. Let's take a look at an example. So here we're starting out by setting a variable named grade and assigning that the value that's converted to a number that's returned from the prompt, what is your test score in percentage? When we run that, and I have a runner which is going to bring up that code.js right here. So if I open that on the desktop, it'll open in Chrome for me. And then it's going to pop up right there. What is your test score in percentage? So I got an 82. So I'm going to say OK. And now it's telling me, congratulations, you passed. Well, why is it telling me, congratulations, you passed? Well, let's look at the code and see. We have a check here where we're saying grade greater than 70. Well, that's a condition. We're going to say, is the grade greater than 70? Well, 82 was greater than 70, so that evaluated to true. And since it evaluated to true, it went ahead and executed this code here. Congratulations, you passed. Well, let's try it with a lower score. So let's type in 45, had a really bad day. Probably should have went and got help from the teacher to study, but I was doing the best I could, and I ended up with a 45. And now nothing happened. Well, that's exactly what we told the code to do. If the grade was greater than 70, it said to do the congratulations. Well, 42 was not greater than 70, so it skipped everything from the beginning curly brace to the ending curly brace, and, well, we didn't have any code after that. So there was nothing else to happen. Well, we could add an alert. Let's say alert, goodbye. So now if we save this and run the program, we still did poorly. And now it jumps right to goodbye. This condition was false. It skipped the code in the curly brace. Now the curly brace ended, so now we start executing the code forward again. So that's what we should expect. Now, this time we were feeling better, we prepared more, and we got an 82 on the next test. And so when we say OK, it's going to say, congratulations, you passed. And this condition was true. It was greater than 70, so we are getting the congratulations, you passed. And then it will continue with the rest of the code. So we also get the goodbye. So here we're controlling which code is executed by saying, if this is true, and only if it's true, execute this code in